Hi guys, Pankaj here. So these are the topics that we are going to cover today. There are two types of relationships, master detail lookup that we will look into, and then we have a roll-up summary fields. Like before we go or dive into our org or a playground, we would look into some key points that would help us in understanding what are these things that you can see on your screen. And after that, we would directly dive into our org or a playground. Okay, so let's move it. So these are the few key points that you could look into when you are talking about master detail and lookup. To many of the guys, whenever in an interview asked what's the difference between master detail and lookup, their usual answer is that in a master detail, when you delete the parent, the child gets deleted, but in lookup there is no such thing. But that's not a proper answer. So we are looking into all these points that could help you in developing a proper answer, and with that you could give a proper answer in the interview. Okay, so let's look into few key differences between a master detail and a lookup. As you can see on your screen, child must have a parent, and whereas in lookup it's an optional. What does it mean? Look into this point. Look into the point 1 that I have mentioned here. It says when you are creating the child object, you could skip parent field for lookup, but in master detail you need to fill the parent field. Basically, it means whenever you create a relationship, master detail or lookup you have created, basically you are filling the details of your child object. Now in that there will be a field field which will be asking for who is the parent. Now in lookup that field is an optional, but in master detail that's a required field. Okay, we will look into it how it looks like. Okay, now there is another term, cascade record level security, and lookup says no. What does it mean? That in a master, if you have the access to the parent object, you automatically have the access to the child object. But in lookup, if you have a parent, have access to parent, doesn't mean that you have the access to the child as well. And now the terms cascade record deletion that I mentioned in the starting, it simply means if you delete the parent, child record will get deleted. But in lookup, if you delete the parent, child record might not get deleted, will not get deleted. Okay, and now there's a roll-up summary field which you could create on a master detail, and in lookup you can't. Now let's look into few points at below. These 2 points I've explained, you could pause the video and read them. Okay, now comes to a roll-up field. Basically, roll-up field is a read-only field which is used to calculate the count of child records, some minimum and maximum field on the child object. Basically, it means you could use this roll-up summary to count how many child does a parent have, or suppose there is a particular field on a child object. Okay, suppose say a parent have say 5 child, and now there is a particular field, say marks. Okay, now you could use that to find the sum of all those marks, or a minimum value among those marks field, and or a maximum. These are the 4 things that you could find using a roll-up summary field. Okay, before we move further, let's look into few note points that is mentioned. You create relationship field on a detail side. Basically, it means whenever you are going to create a master detail or a lookup, you go to the child record, you create on the child. Basically, you go to the setup, and from setup go to the child object, and then fields and relationship, and from there you create the roll up or a master field on the detail side, basically on the child object. Okay, now to delete a lookup field, you simply delete it. Basically, if you have created a lookup, you could simply delete it. But master detail, once you created, you have to look into few things. First, there should not be any record present. Okay, once you have created this, that is, you have to delete those records. And if suppose you have deleted records, now suppose you have created a roll-up field, now you have to delete that one. And after deleting that field not get deleted, because Salesforce stores any deleted field for 15 days. So you have to go to that delete fields setting and then erase it. I will show you what is this delete field and how do you erase it. Okay, so hope these are clear. Now we will look into few scenarios like which will help you understand like in which scenario you use master detail or in which scenario you go for the lookup. Okay, so we go this. First question is if your requirement says relationship is optional, then you go for the usage, because as I mentioned in the previous slide, the point that in lookup relationship is optional. Now you require roll-up summary field, then master detail, because roll-up summary field could be created only for master detail. Now cascade record level security and cascading deletion required, that is your requirement are these, you go for the master detail. Now many side of a relationship is a standard object, you go for a lookup. This simply means if the detail side of the relationship is a standard object, you go for a lookup relationship, because in a master detail standard object could not be on a detail side. Or like there are 2 types of relationship in Salesforce that you could create. One is many to one to many, Okay, basically, for example, let's take a relationship between accounts and contacts, which are the standard object. There is a lookup relationship. Okay, so one account can have many contacts. Okay, this is the example of one to many, but you can't create many to many relationship in Salesforce directly. For you need to use a junction object, which we will look into coming videos. For now, hope you are able to understand what's a many side relationship. Okay, one to many, and that many side of a relationship, if is a standard object, if it is a standard object, you go for a lookup. Now we are all clear with these terms and definition. Let's dive into our org and let's see how these things actually look like. Okay, for the understanding of this is relationships, I've already created few objects. Like one is student, yeah, it's here. Like this is one of the object that I created, and another object that I created is a class object. Okay, and then I've created a school object. We will be using these objects. I created this to save time. You could create on your own. If you face any problem, you could refer to the previous video or put down a comment. Okay, and I will be happy to help. Okay, so now I've created three objects, namely student, class, and school. We will be using student and class to demonstrate master detail, and then we will be using school and class to demonstrate lookup. Okay, so it's clear now. In a master detail relationship between class and a student is the detail side and class is a master side. Now to create a relationship, as I mentioned in the previous slides, that we go to the detail side. The detail side is a student, so we go to student. Okay, go here and then fields and relationships. Okay, as you can see, these are the fields here for the student. Okay, like roll number or name and marks. Okay, now we will create a master detail. Just go for new, and then we will go to the master detail relationship. Okay, click next, and then we will come to a screen where we need to select the object, which would be class in this case. Okay, you select class, and after that you go next. It's loading. Yeah, it's loaded. Field name is loaded. Okay, it's done. Okay, then you click next, then next, and then next, and you just save it. Okay, so we have created one master detail. Now we will look into rollup summary. We will create all these things first, and then we will go to our org to see the demonstration. Okay, in any particular app, mostly in the sales app that okay. So now we go, since we want to create a rollup summary fields, we go to the master side, which is a class in this case. So go to this object manager and go here in the class. Okay, go to class and then fields and relationships and then new. Okay, now we go to this rollup summary, then click next. So say we want a count of all the students in a class, so we will say attendance. Okay, yeah, it's already there, so attendance, and then basically we write counts total number of students in a class, total number of students in a class, Okay, just click next after that, and you will get this screen where it need asking summarize object, which is mostly students in this case, as I have not created any other relationship with this object. So, and now what are the options we want? There are only 4 options that I already told you. So we will be using count, and now there are options. Either you want to count all the records, or you want to define particular conditions. You could define particular condition based on these things. Okay, of the basically the detail object, which is, or a child object, which is student in this case. Like you could define in any condition, like what's the equal value, or it should be less than certain condition and all. Okay, but we want all, so we will selecting this one and we will go next. Once we have done next, okay, let me click it again. Yeah, it's done. Next, then again next, and then we save it. Okay, we have created one rollup summary, but we are now creating the another one. So we again go new, sorry, and then we go to the rollup summary and then next. This time, as I told you, there was a field called marks. So let's say we want to find the student who got the highest marks in the class. So we say highest marks. Okay, and then highest marks, and after that we go just click next, and this time the object would be students, and we want maximum. We select max, and field we want to use is marks. Okay, now again we want all the fields, then we click next. Okay, and then we click next again, and this time we save it. Now we have done with the setup. Now we go to our objects directly and see how they look like. Okay, basically let's go here. Let's go to the sales app itself, though we don't require that one. So let's go to our object directly. Okay, let's go to the students. Okay, it's loading and it's loaded. So we don't have any other objects any other records created. No. So let's click on this one. Let's say the name of the student is Pankaj. Okay, and he got say 90. Okay, now when I said that the relationship was optional, when the difference between the master detail and lookup, for the lookup it was optional, for master detail it was not. As you can see, this field is marked with red asterisk, which means it's a required field. If I try to save it, it will give us an error, because it wants us to select the class. If it was a lookup, then it wouldn't be the case. And like when we go to the lookup, you will observe on yourself, since we haven't created any class, so it will show nothing here. So just let's create new class here, this option, or either you could go and search the object directly here and then create your class. Let's say it's the 8th standard. Okay, spelling is right now, standard. Okay, spelling is wrong, standard. Yeah, I hope it's right. Standard. Yeah, it's right, standard. Okay, just save it, because spelling is the thing that I'm most afraid of most of the times. Yeah, it's standard, it's done. Okay, this some is standard was created, and what was the error that we got? Error. Okay, we got an error. Save it. Let's see if it's, yeah, it's got saved maybe. So we have done this. Now let's create few more. Okay, so that we could also see how our rollup is working. Let's say it's Trisha. Okay, and let's say she got say 95. Okay, and again she's in the 8th standard, so we go there, save it, and let's create other ones as well, few more, so that we have a great collection of objects, and we could use that to see how it's working. Name, say it's, what should be the name? Say Pawan. Okay, and say he got say 70. Okay, now class, let's the same class, and I think 3 objects are enough to understand the concepts. Now as you can see, we have 3 objects. Okay, here. Okay, and each one have got marks. One got 90, then 95, and other 70. So the highest marks would be 95, and number of students would be 3. If we go to check our class object. Okay, let's me create another tab and let's look into it. Okay, from there. I hope it's gets loaded. Okay, now we go to the class. Okay, not here, it should be here. Okay, search this bar. Okay, and class, we go here, because we created already one object, so you will see all the fields filled with those values. Okay, as you say, in the attendance is 3, highest marks is 95. So hope you are clear with rollup summary and master detail. Now let's try to delete it. Okay, suppose we want to delete the relationship, so how it looks like. Okay, so I said there would be, it's not pretty simple to delete master detail. So we go to the student object, and let's say this, where is student? No, yeah, let me refresh it once again, so the field comes visible. You can't be able to delete it. Okay, where is that? Yeah, yes, here. If we try to delete it, we can't delete it. Let's say, you will see yourself. Yeah, the object containing the lookup has a summary field in another object. Remove the summary, and if there was no summary, it would be asking that there already have certain records that we need to delete. Okay, these were the points that in the note. Let's not delete it. You try on your own, and let me know if you are not getting what I told you. Then let's discuss that. Okay, for now the master detail is clear, rollup summary is clear. For now, let's look into a lookup relationship. Okay, object manager, and let's create a lookup relationship. For lookup relationship, we want to use 2 objects, school and class, and here school is the parent and class is the child. So to create a lookup, we go to the child, which is a class. So we go to the class, okay, and go to fields and relationships, and then new, and then we have a lookup relationships. Okay, create next, and we select school. Okay, that I created already. School is here. Then we create next, and let it be school itself, and then we move to the next. Let's get loaded. Yeah, next, and then again next. Then last time we save it, and we are done. Voila. So now we are done. We will go and look into, since we are not using this one, let's load class here. Okay, okay, class, not class, school, sorry, my bad. Class is already there. Okay, yeah, we need class here. Let's load class here. We could either create a new or look into it. Let's look for now, look into it. Okay, we will see yourself. Okay, just edit it. Okay, okay, that's not coming here. Maybe we need to refresh it. Okay, let's refresh it. Yes, because I'm getting some problem with these orgs, so maybe that could be the reason for that. Hope this time it comes. Okay, it's not coming. Let's create a new one and see how it does looks like. Okay, the class, it's the students are the related objects. Okay, this is a tab where you go for the related object. Let's create a new one and see. Okay, why it's coming this form again? Let's create this one. Let's create a new one. Okay, yeah, here is school. Let's leave that for now. Let's do it. Let's say we want to create 5th class. As I already told you, if I try to save it without filling this value, it could be saved. Okay, let's try it. It will save it. It's not a required field, that I already told you. Now if you want to fill it, let's edit it and fill it. Okay, these are the read-only fields that would be calculated depending, since no class is related to, no student is related to it, so these fields are empty. Let's create a new school since we don't have any school. Okay, let's say it's education point. Okay, just let's a random name and we save it. Okay, and just save it. We got this field created. Now if we look into that school, we will have that. Okay, and it's your education point, and when you go to that related section of it, you will see it's related classes. Okay, well, I hope that's clear. Now let's try to delete it. I think it's a pretty simple operation to delete here. Okay, so we go to the class and see if here is that school. It's here. So let's try to delete it. Okay, it got deleted easily, though it's already have a related to a class, basically a parent class. Now let's see what happened to that one, education point. Since we deleted it, there is no relationship anymore, it would be empty. Yeah, it's empty because there is no relationship now. Same goes for this. Okay, yeah, that we checked wrong. Yeah, we should have checked this one. Okay, we checked class now. Yeah, we were wrong, sorry, I was wrong. We checked that there is nothing in relation because we deleted, because we were able to delete easily, because lookup gets deleted easily. But for master detail, you have to keep keep in mind few points. First, there should not be any related records. First, you need to go delete them, and if there are certain rollup summary fields, then you have to delete those fields as well. After deleting that, you go here, like I was told you know about that deleted yeah, you go to this deleted fields. There comes all the fields that you deleted, and you select that erase option that comes with it. Okay, that's okay, let me show you itself. Okay, since we have deleting the relationship itself, let's try to debug. You go to this deleted fields, where you will find those deleted fields and an option to erase it. You could check it, like I have deleted this already. Yeah, I created this previously, like as you can see. you go to these deleted fields. Okay, once you have deleted those roll up, you need to go to these deleted fields. After clicking there, you will find all the deleted field and you erase that field. That's you require if you really want to remove that master detail relationship completely. So two things to keep in mind: there should be no related records and there should be no roll up summary fields. You need to delete from them from outside, and after that you need to erase from the deleted fields. If you click this, it would look like this. Since we have deleted our school relationship now, yeah, it would look like this for those fields, those roll up summary fields that you delete. You just erase them and you are done. So this is from today, and hope you are able to understand all the things that I mentioned. We will look into more topics in the coming videos. Thank you for watching.